Hi guys, once again welcome to Achimota Farms, and my name is Fred. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most deadly diseases among cattle farming in Ghana and in Africa. So stay tuned as I bring you this episode. Welcome back guys. So as I said, today we're going to be talking about one of the deadly diseases among cattle. This disease is peculiar to certain regions all over the world. Today we're going to discuss that. But before we go into that, if today is your first time viewing us here at Achimota Farms, we are rearing cows, we are doing poultry, we are doing most of the livestock. And we have future plans to expand, and we always share our experiences, what is happening here with you, so that if you're planning to go into farming or you're already in it, you can learn something from us and we can also learn something from you. So if this is your channel, please click on the subscribe button and write your comments, and we'll be happy to engage with you. So coming back to today's topic, we are talking about a disease that started or originated from Africa, made its way to India, and in a little part of Europe as well. This disease is in West Africa and is killing thousands of cows because there is no cure for this disease. That is scary. Over the years, it has been in Ghana, it is in West Africa, it is in East Africa, and farmers have been losing herds and losing money because of this disease. Recently, I started getting messages from most of you sending me pictures about your cows being very sick, not being able to eat, and so on and so forth. So I decided to go into a little bit of research. In the course of this research, to really help others, it happened to me. So today I'm going to tell you about what the experience has been, what has my solution been, so that if it comes to your head, you'll be able to prevent it as well. The disease that I'm talking about is called Lumpy disease. L-U-M-P-Y, Lumpy. This disease is caused by flies, tsetse flies, and ticks. As your cows, either they're doing random grazing or they are confined, ticks and flies are something that is very hard to get absolutely rid of. So no matter where you find yourself, as they're feeding on the grasses, they pick worms, they pick ticks on their way, and flies are always following them. If you're a cattle farmer, then you understand very well what I say. Even though here we do spray every 3 days, we spray our farm, we spray our animals, and they all do like a great work spraying all the time, making sure. Aside that, we also use a repellent called pour on, which every week we sort of pour from their hitchback all the way to their tail, which also prevent tsetse flies and flies from coming on their body and like following them around, right? We do all this, but it seems like it wasn't enough. So a couple of months ago, we started seeing this disease. So what are some of the symptoms of this lumpy disease? So the first symptoms you're gonna see is bumps on the body. So what am I referring to as bumps? You will see that if you touch the skin, you're gonna see a few bumps growing. The first week is just gonna be bumps, and their hair is not gonna be as smooth and flat as it is. You will see a lift in a small portions. And depending on how severe or how long it's been, it keeps on growing and it becomes very visible after 2 to 3 weeks, right? The females mostly get it in between their legs, so all their breasts will start having these rashes, sort of bump rashes that are very, very dry. Symptoms number 2, their mouth is going to become sore. So what happens is they are going to lose their appetite. You see saliva dripping up, not as much as when they have a heart disease or something, but it's because their mouth is sore, they are not swallowing. So you see few saliva coming in depending on how big the sore is. And the third one is totally loss of weight. Once they stop eating, you'll be walking them or you'll be feeding them and you realize that they are not consuming the quantity that they use because of the soreness in their mouth. So when that happens, they lose weight, severe weight. And the longer you keep it going, the longer the higher the weight loss is going to be. So the sad thing about this is it has no cure, right? It is something that once it happens to your herbs, the first thing you have to do is to get rid of it. So if you leave it for it to spread all over the body, you might not be able to even sell it. But the moment you see any small symptoms of this, if it hasn't affected all the skin, it is not, you can get rid of it, you know, based on the level of it. I think your veterinarian can do a test and be able to let you know if this is actually something you could sell for consumption or not. But we've had a few right in the beginning that we call veterinarian, and it was good. You know, it hasn't affected the body and it doesn't affect human being. But the moment you leave it for like 3-4 weeks, you're either going to lose your animal or you can't sell at all, because all the skin is going to be affected, including their head, their shoulders, their belly, their breast. And if they are even pregnant, they're going to lose the baby. So that's another huge symptoms. And it affects the breast that even if they have babies, the babies cannot feed from their breasts, right? So this is a very serious and dangerous disease that I want to tell you guys about. The moment you see these symptoms, start making plans to get rid of that cow. The reason why I'm insisting on getting rid of the cow or the bull when you see this symptom is, one, the causes. So as I said, they are caused by flies, tsetse flies, and ticks. The moment a fly bites that infected cow and goes and bites the next one, it transmits the diseases to the other one, right? So you can imagine most of us are farming outskirts of town, so there are a lot of mosquitoes. So even at night, when mosquitoes bite them and transfer it to the other ones, what happens is it ends up spreading. So it spreads really quick. Over the last 3-4 months, we've actually lost, I think, more than 10 cows, which some we didn't know, so we had to just get rid of them. Others, the moment we saw it, we have to call the veterinary to come in, test, and then we can sell it. So this is very, very dangerous. From my research, there is a vaccination that you can give to them, right? And that vaccination is just to prevent it, so that when they get bitten by these ticks and so on, it doesn't result in the lumpy disease. Unfortunately, I haven't seen this vaccination in Ghana. They only have it in Kenya. It's not even in America, because this disease is not in the US, right? But it is in Kenya, it is in Europe. I found most of this vaccination, but the crazy thing is, you know, none of them, the sellers and producers are willing to ship it to Ghana, right? So I'll probably make a trip to Kenya very soon just to go and find out how we can get this medicine back here. If you're watching me and you're a veterinarian or you have an idea of this vaccination, please let us know. Write in the comment, contact me directly, because we really need this. I have a lot of farmers that are sending me pictures of their cows dying. They will die within the next 3 to 4 weeks. If you don't get rid of them, they will die. You will come to your farm and you see them lying down. And that is how bad it is, especially if you have gudalis that really are big and needs to feed. They lose weight like this. So you see a real big gudali going from, you know, like, let's say 140 kg coming all the way down to like 90 kg just in a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, right? So this is very deadly that I think you guys need to know. At what season does this disease really like comes? Now we are entering into the dry season, so it's a bit okay. But when we are entering into the rainy season, it is very serious, because that's when the leaves are fresh. So as they eat the leaf, they get a lot of ticks, and the house flies too a lot, right? So mango is going to come somewhere, you know, from February, March. All these periods are periods where house flies are very rampant. So you need to protect your head. Make sure you're spraying as constant as you can. Make sure you're using other repellents like pour on to really put on their skin and their body so that they are not getting bitten by tsetse flies, house flies, and ticks. And if your Fulani herdsman is around, make sure he's removing every tick. So right now, if you look at our animals, we don't have any ticks on them. We literally go and remove all of them if we see them, and that's how serious this disease is. Another thing that we found locally, in case you're watching me and you're going through this same issue, so we have this drug that is actually coming from, I think it's coming from India. It's called Ivano, right? It's called Ivano. It's coming from India, and what it does is, once you inject this drug, it actually helps when the houseflies hit on them, stand on them, they can bite. I don't know what really, but it prevents them from biting, so they can stand on them without being able to bite. I think it's just something to do with the taste of the blood or something, but they are not able to bite. So far, that's the only thing that we've discovered locally here that is available here, not produced here, but available here that we are able to use in terms of preventing tsetse fly and house flies from biting them. But this is such a serious disease in the country, and we're really hoping that if you have any power or in a position where you can help us get a vaccination into the country to solve this. I have at least about 8 to 10 farmers that are contacting me about these same diseases, but the little I can do is just this. But if they already have it, there is no cure. There hasn't been a cure in any of the countries that I've contacted, so the only thing we can do is to prevent it from happening. So if you have herds, you probably want to prevent this from happening, maybe starting from mid-February as we enter into the rainy season, so that you don't get it at the end of the rainy season. I hope this is helpful, guys. And again, if you have more questions or want to talk to me in depth about this, you can also look at the link in the description to book a time with me, and I'll be happy to talk to you more and share some of our experience with you. This has cost us a lot here, and it's some of the things that we are learning. We've never had this disease on the farm, but it happened. The climate has changed, different things has changed, and it has happened to us, and I know it's happening to most of you out there as well. So let's do our best, if it hasn't happened to you yet, to prevent it and save our livestock and save, you know, our investment. So thank you, guys, and if you have any question, just drop it below and I will answer you. Thank you very much.